So, take impairment. The impairment is basically a term used to describe anatomical structure of a person. If a person is suffering from anatomical disorder or psychological disorder, that is considered as a human being is been impaired. This impairment becomes disability if this disfigurement, anatomical disfigurement, psychological disfigurement leads to a situation where his range of opportunities gets restricted and his activities gets restricted. So, restricted activity of an impaired person is disability. So, this disability leads to handicap when this restricted opportunities leads to a distinctive disadvantage to the person. So, take the example of a blind. A blind, blindness is an impairment. Due to blindness, he cannot pursue his education is a case of disability. Lack of education leads to a situation that he cannot obtain a degree, he cannot pursue higher studies is handicap. So, therefore, these are the three different terminologies used for three different purposes. Many a times we use these terms interchangeably. Taking theories of disability into consideration, the first theory I am going to discuss is sociological theory. So, in this sociological theory, disability is considered as a person in need of help, but it is not as simple as that, because in a sociological theory there are various other people in need of help. So, when you look at the people in need of help, person with disability stands last in the line. So, stable and developed countries consider disability rights as the rights to be protected, but whereas underdeveloped countries take an excuse that there are many other things to do rather than supporting a person with disability. Same with the developing countries. So, therefore, in sociological theory, each society looks at the disability from a different paradigm, and this difference is maybe on economic status or maybe a religious basis or even maybe a cultural basis. Take the example of a blindness again. USA takes blindness as a situation which needs assistance or counseling, whereas England takes it as a technical challenge where they need to develop a technology to address the problem, whereas Italy looks at it as a situation which needs intervention of a god, which needs a counseling. So, this is how same disablement is looked differently from different states. Positivist theory. This positivist theory speaks about cures. So, if a person is suffering from any kind of disability, he should have clinical intervention, medical intervention and try to cure the disability. But this they also have developed social medicine for this, wherein the chances of disability can be prevented. So, that is the positivist theory, where they look into positive action into addressing the disabled person. But the major defect with this system is the life and the death decision of a person is decided by somebody else. No questions are asked, no opinions are sought. Disabled person has to undergo the treatment what the other person is suggesting. So, the positivist theory is a theory where somebody else decides on the lives of a disabled person. Then comes the functionalist theory. So, in this theory, the society considers disability as a sick role. Here, the disabled person, it is considered as a sick person who wants to get well and he needs to be treated. This Functionalist theory is okay when it comes to curable diseases or curable disablements, where there are n number of incurable disablements are there, for which this functionalist theory is not answering those requirements. Then the critical theory. Now, the critical theory is a theory where they consider disablement as or disability as result of an unequal society, and this unequal society has to be brought into an equality level through social action, through social revolution. Again, here we are talking about equality without considering the variety of problems which disabled people suffer. So, these are the different theories of disability.